Pretty bitch, I'm in that mode. Look like I'm fresh out of Vogue. I never do what I'm told.
Hey, my beauties. It's Jess with Kicking It with Jess, and I'm back with another one. So today is a little different. I decided to do a story time, and it's an emotional story time. I'm not gonna cry or anything, but it's a little bit more sensitive topic than I would usually talk about with others, especially strangers. But yeah, I just felt compelled to talk about it because I'm sure it's other people who probably are going through the same thing or wanting to maybe experience something like this, have who have not experienced it yet. And I just want to speak on my experience. So here we are. So the topic is meeting my mom at 31. Okay? And I know you're like, what? Meeting your mom at 31? Yes. Yes. Meeting my mom at 31. And before I get into the meeting my mom part, I have to give you some backstory. So I'm going to take it all the way back on how I grew up without a mom and how that affected me and such and such. So just sit back and listen. Okay. So at birth, I guess my mom decided that she didn't want to keep me. I feel like maybe she just felt it would have been too much because her and my dad hadn't had a real relationship. It was, I think it was more of like, it was a physical chemistry that they had, and they went off that, maybe had a couple nights, you know what I mean, and had me, made me, and decided to call it quits. My mother was older than my father. My dad was a teenager when I was born, and I just feel like there really wasn't stability in that. So yeah, she decided to terminate her rights as a mother. Shortly after I was born, I was given to my grandmother on my father's side when I was 2 months old. She raised me, you know, like I was hers, like I was her daughter, but I was her granddaughter. Um, yeah. So growing up as a kid without my mom, I was always kind of angry. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't understand, like, why would my mom not want me? Like, why would she give me up? Why has she called? Why has she come and gotten me? You know what I'm saying? Why don't I get those visits? Um, yeah, it was very hard for me to kind of digest, like, is it me? Like, what's going on? Like, why isn't a mother trying to be a mother to her daughter? Um, years gone by as a, you know, even in my early teens, tweens or whatever, I would get so jealous of seeing other girls my age with their mothers having happy relationships. I mean, just best friends. You know, I always wanted that. Um, and then I would like in my head, I would think that some of my grandmother's friends, younger friends, were secretly my mom. Like it got that bad to where I'm like, maybe that's my mom, and no one knew. You know, no one told me because I didn't know who this woman was. I didn't know what she looked like. I'm telling you, I didn't have pictures of her. I didn't have any of that. So it was really a mystery. Like, who is this woman? What does she look like? Um, because growing up in my younger days, I feel like I looked like my dad and somewhat. Um, but then as I got older, in my teenage years, I'm like, well, my father doesn't have these full lips. He doesn't have these high cheekbones. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have these big, full, beautiful brown eyes. I'm like, who do I look like? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I, I was so confused because people, even his, even his girlfriend at that time were like, You know what I'm saying? You're starting not to look so much like your dad anymore. I wonder who. I'm like, I have to look like my mom if it's no one else because that's the person who birthed me. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have a picture. She didn't have a picture. So I'm like, I really wanted to know. I just was really missing that connection. Holidays, I would cry all the time because I'm like missing my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted so badly for her just to call me and check on me and say, "Hey, babe, how you doing?" You know what I'm saying? Anything. I always wanted that. I craved the attention of my mom, and she was never there for me. So I always would just cry, like out of the blue. Like, it was so sad. And I think that's why so much I'm such an introvert is because I have abandonment issues, and I'll just go into a bubble like a shell and just kind of hide there because I'm missing the main part of my life. You know what I'm saying? This whole time, not having a mom, that's a major thing. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, your mom is alive and she's doing well, but she doesn't give a about you. That's how you feel. It's like, where is this woman at? Why is she just ducking you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, so yeah, like it was just painful to see like this girl just growing up. She was happy for the most part. You know what I'm saying, bubbly and all that, but deep down inside, she was really hurt. And when I mean she, I mean in me. Deep down inside, I was really hurt and confused. Like I couldn't understand like why me. You know what I'm saying? Out of everybody else, like I was just always having this this issue. I always had like little incidents of I won't get into those incidents where I'm like hurting myself. I was very clumsy as a child, all that type of stuff. And I couldn't share those moments with my mom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't know anything about me growing up. You know what I'm saying? She didn't know what made me tick. She didn't know anything because she was never around. And I hated that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it was. So, I believe someone might have given her my number when I was around 20 or 21 years old. Um, because I got a random call from her. I don't know if it was, I don't remember if she called my phone or if she connected to me on Facebook, but it was something like that. So I was living with my ex girlfriend at the time, and yeah, she calls me, and I'm shocked. I'm just like, who is this? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, this is your mom. And I'm like, oh, okay, uh, shocked, but I want to hear more. Like, okay, you are. And so we just got to talking, and I didn't know how to feel really. I didn't know if it was genuine or not at the time, but we did speak. We spoke a few times. Um, yeah, and then eventually it went on to maybe a few weeks. We would, I don't know, every now and then we would speak on the phone, and then she just texted me saying that she couldn't do this anymore. Like, I I can't talk to you anymore. This is too much for me. Um, yeah. So she ghosted me, and I was hurt about that, of course. Cause I'm like, why call me and then you gonna ghost me? Like, you already know I got these abandonment issues from you, and it's like, don't do that to me. Like, that really hurt me. You know what I'm saying? But I let it go. It is what it is. I have to give you your respect. If that's what you want to do, maybe you can't handle it. Maybe it's too hard on your conscience. I don't know. So I just let it go. Then on my 31st birthday, I get a random call from her saying that she wants to meet up with me. She wants to bring me to Florida, where she lives. Um, so I'm thinking maybe in a few months or whatever she's talking about that, because this is like, I believe this was in, it was before my birthday. My birthday is April 3rd. So she called me, I believe late March or something like that. So I'm thinking she's done. Papa, get down, leave those curtains alone. So she, so she gets, she talks to me around that time. And I called my uncle. That was the first person I called. I said, Unc, what do you think I should do? She wants to fly me down to Florida. Do you think this is a good idea? He says, this is your decision. You're grown up now. If you feel like it's time for you to meet your mom, then go ahead. Um, I didn't want to talk to my grandma about it because I didn't want to upset her, because she's very sensitive about this type of topic. Because in her head, I'm her baby. You know what I'm saying? So she don't want me to meet her, I guess, because she's like, I'm the one that took care of you. I'm still taking care of you. Yada yada yada. She ain't did nothing, so why now? You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy in my head because I'm like, I'm finally going to meet this mysterious woman. You know what I'm saying? This woman I dreamed about, wanted to know for so long. I'm finally going to meet her. So I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking she could talk about months down the line and she gonna, you know what I'm saying, pick, fly me down there. It's 2 weeks after my birthday. She calls me and says, I got your plane ticket. I don't have my bags packed, nothing. You know what I'm saying? My hair was looking a mess. I had my locks in, longer locks back in that time. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a retwist. I was shocked. I was like, I don't have nothing ready. You know what I'm saying? And that whole day, she just stayed on the phone with me, told me to call my grandmother, let her know I was coming down there, and I had a flight at such and such time. So I had to be at the airport. She was going to Uber me, send me to the Uber, send an Uber for me to go down to Detroit airport. I called my grandmother. She had a fit. Oh my gosh, she's crying, yada yada yada. You can't go, no, no, no. And I'm just like, don't do this right now. Don't do this. And it was COVID time, so you know what I'm saying. Uh, so of course she's already worried about me catching COVID, and being around people and stuff like that. So she comes home. My grandmother comes home, and we talk after she's crying, still crying. People are calling me and my family talking about, don't go because you don't know this woman. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. This is not the right time. And I'm like, this is the right time. When am I ever going to get this opportunity again? I'm like, I have to do it now. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't know where she gonna be. She might change her mind. She already ghosted me once. You know what I'm saying? Like, what make you think? What if she should say, well, if you don't come now, I don't want to fuck with you for real. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go. Like, in my head, I'm like, I have to go. So I'm like, I'm going. I don't care what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna end up, y'all gonna say blessings or no, cause I'm going. And my grandma was like, well, I'm not letting you take an Uber down there by yourself. So I'm going to drive you down there to the airport. I'm like, whatever, do what you gotta do. So she flies. I mean, she drives me down there, and we say our goodbyes. Uh, so I sit there at my gate. So I just sit there because I was going to at a what's that type of flight where you gotta switch it, connecting flight or something like that. So I had to go from Detroit to North Carolina, from North Carolina to Orlando. And so I got there at night. I got there at Orlando at night. Um, and I get off the plane, off the little shuttle or whatever, and she's outside waiting for me in a nice Porsche. I'm like, also, you know what I'm saying? She got some money or whatever, but it's not about that for me though. I'm just happy to see her. And I'm thinking to myself this whole time on the plane, I'm like, how am I gonna react when I see her? I'm thinking I'm gonna cry, just like burst out crying, whatever. But when I met her, I couldn't even do that. Like I looked at her and it just felt safe. You know what I'm saying? Like she gave me a hug. Yeah, she gave me a nice big hug. I got in her car. I was kind of quiet a little bit because I'm like nervous. I don't know you for real. I mean, I really don't know you, but I just felt like I could be safe for her because this is my mom. Even though I don't, I haven't never had spent time with you, I felt safe. And yeah, so it didn't feel strange. Like I thought it would have felt awkward or something. It didn't feel that. I felt very comfortable with her, like I knew her. And I'm like, she looks like me. I'm like, that's another thing I thought. I said, this woman looks like me. Like she's just a lighter version of me, and she has lighter eyes. But we have the same type of look. It's like, you know what I'm saying? She's got hazel eyes, but we look just alike. And her house was beautiful. Only thing she had was she had a pit bull that I was afraid of at first. His name was Cairo, and she said, "Don't be afraid of my dog. He just doesn't know you." So he's gonna bark at you or whatever. Then he'll come sniff you like dogs do. But please don't be afraid. And I was like, okay. So I loosened up after a while. She fed me, of course. Um, I mean, beautiful home. I was so comfortable there. Took a good. We watched the movie together the first night, on her couch or whatever, and then I went to sleep. That was some of the best sleep I've had, and that was my first time in Florida. Well, as an adult, my first time in Florida as an adult. It's so beautiful there. I just love it. Like I want to live there. Like I know people like I don't know about living there because of the disasters that they have, but it's beautiful and so fresh down there. I mean, it's way different than Michigan. So we spent a lot of time together down there. I think I was down there for like a week and a half, or yeah. Um, she took me somewhere everywhere. We went to Universal. We went to Universal Studios. We went to um, what's the other place? SeaWorld. We had good food. Oh my god, it's this place down there called Kiki's. Oh my god, it's called Kiki's. It's a breakfast place, like brunch and all that shit. They got some of the best. And they give you a whole bunch of stuff. Like they got some of the best breakfast ever down there. But they give you big portions everywhere. Like I couldn't finish none of my food in no time I was down there. Like I had so much food in her refrigerator because they give you like we love fish. That's one thing we love together. We love fish and fries. She loves that like me. And I'm like we got so much in common, like some music. We love like R&B, old school R&B. Like it was just like this is my twin. And of course, the elephant in the room had to be brought up at dinner one day. Um, I'm like, so why didn't you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you come for me? Like, why didn't you send for me? Why haven't you been calling me when I was younger? Yada yada yada. Um, I didn't want to get too deep into it, but I had questions, and she was just like, I do apologize for everything. I just wasn't ready, and you know, I never meant to hurt you, yada yada. But yeah, and I accepted an apology, but of course it's like I still have those feelings, like still hurt. So I'm thinking at that time like we're gonna be good, you know. Even when I come back home, I'm gonna be good with her. Like we're gonna keep in touch. We are mother and daughter duo now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, life is gonna be good now. We stayed in touch for the most part every now and then. Um, So a few years ago, my sister had a graduation from Wayne State University, and my mother came there. She let me know that she was gonna be there. So we had a good time at the graduation. After graduation, went out to eat. We had a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And then the, she was like, "I want to see you again before I leave to go back to Florida." And she was like, you know, I was like, I acted like I had to work, but I did meet with her. Because at the time, I wasn't working, but nobody knew, so I had to say that I had to go to work. But I said, I can't meet you on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So Sunday night, we went out to eat, and we had a good time there. We talked and stuff like that. Um, we kept in touch after that for a few months, and then she stopped talking to me. I mean, just ghost. Like, stop. I was calling her, texting her. Um, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Everything was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, here we go again with the bullshit. It's been, I can, I can say it's been about a year and a half since I've talked to her. I've contacted my younger sister on that side, my stepsister, my half sister, and I said, could you please tell mom to call me or text me? I just wanted to check on her. You know what I'm saying? I don't want anything from her. I just want to check on her. And she said, I'm gonna let her know. I still, you know what I'm saying? I've done that plenty of times with her. Call my sister, say, can you please tell mom to call me or text me? I just want to check on her. I'm gonna do it. She just forgets stuff like that. All these excuses. And I'm just like, you know what, I can't do this. Like, she's not gonna mess up my life like that again. Like, if you don't wanna fuck with me, just stay away. I just felt like if you never want to be real with me and consistent in my life, then you never should have contacted me in the first place. I would have never went to see you. We could have never done none of this, and I would have been okay if you had to just be real and say, I'm not ready to be a mother. So, we're back at square one, and of course I'm disappointed. Because like I said, I thought this was going to be good for us. I thought we were going to move on and, start a real connection and get to know each other. Like, even though I'm grown, I still need my mom. You know what I'm saying? I hate when people be like, oh, you grown now. You don't need. No, it's not like that. I'm not calling her for money. I'm not calling her for none of that. I just want quality time. You know what I'm saying? Just call me, check on me. I call and check on you. And that's that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I already don't have my father. I lost my father years ago. You know what I'm saying? And that hurt me, and I'm still hurt by that. So it's like, at least be there for me as a mom. I don't have. You only have one parent. You know what I'm saying? But I can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And I um I hope her the best in life. Um, I pray that she heals from her thoughts, you know what I'm saying, and get all that off her chest. Um, but yeah, I'm done with it. Like, I won't be calling anymore. I won't be doing any of that because that's just gonna hurt me more. You know what I'm saying? By me trying to reach out and then again my feelings hurt. So I'm done with it, and I have to just be okay with it and at peace with it. So yeah, that's my story of how I met my mom at 31. And if you are going through the same thing with me, I just advise you be patient with your parents. They do make mistakes. But continue to reach out if you can. And if you're getting feedback from your mom or your dad that haven't been there in your life, if they want to be in your life, I feel like you should let them be in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because not every parent is trying to be in your life. And those who have active parents now, let them be active. If you have a mother like me who isn't trying to be active, let it go. But yeah, that concludes this story time. And I will be back at you all with another video soon. So like, comment, and subscribe.